What's up, collectors and Transformers enthusiasts? Today we're going to be taking a look at Transformers Kingdom Core Class Soundwave. Taking a really quick look at the packaging, we got the Catcher red logo on the side, Kingdom on the bottom, Soundwave on the side. We got a nice display of the figure itself. We got a gorgeous image on the background as well. You can see, the Decepticon crash landed on that mountain right there, and you can see the cassette launching out of Soundwave. So really nice display and imaging on the front, and on the back we got the Catcher roll mode and the cassette mode with the 8 steps so you need to transform him. But other than that, that's pretty much it for the whole thing. So without further ado, let's get into it. And here we have Transformers Kingdom Core Class Soundwave in hand and out of the packaging, and oh my god, I've been waiting a while for this guy, and as you can see, it does not disappoint. I love the simplicity of the sculpted in detail. In my opinion, it makes it a little bit more accurate to the G1 representation, and you can see that for the paint distribution, it's just off the charts. Everything is just 10 out of 10 on this figure, and in my opinion, it's way better than the Boyer one. But let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Starting off with the weapons that he brings, as you can see, he brings his shoulder cannon as well as his weapon of choice, and you can see that for the sculpted in detail and paint distribution on these is not that bad. They look amazing. You can appreciate, the red bullets on the shoulder cannon as well as the silver on the blaster. You can see that it also has a couple of red applications on the side and the front. Pretty much it's just a circle of red, and it looks amazing. It makes the sculpted in detail pop a little bit more, and again, just the simplicity of it makes it a little bit more accurate to the G1 representation. And for the bottom, you can see that pretty much is nothing, but you're not going to be seeing it from the bottom or for the back. That pretty much has no sculpted in detail. You're going to be seeing the weapons from the front as well as the top, and of course for the sides as well. But with that being said, that's pretty much it for the items that he brings. And for the figure itself, I mean, look at this guy, just complete perfection, 10 out of 10. I sound like a broken disc every time I do a core class video, but just $10, man. And for the quality you're getting, as you can see, if you do a 360 degrees on this guy, you're gonna go ahead and realize that it has pretty much no gaps. This is due to transformation, and this is a gap, so it has one at the very least, but you can see that on the back it has no gaps whatsoever, so that is always a plus. And you can see that just the paint distribution, they did not hold back on this guy at all. Hopefully you're not gonna have any paint drips. I had no paint drips on my particular figure. I remember I was so pissed because my Boyer Soundwave had paint drips on a face skull, and this one does not, and I am super happy. And just for the sculpted in detail, again, just the simplicity of it, it's just really accurate to the G1 representation. Giving you a closer look, let me go ahead and try to zoom in a little so you guys can appreciate, that's nice sculpted in detail that this guy has. You can see not that bad at all for the face skull. It looks really accurate, not to mention the chest and the arms, and pretty much everything is on the spot. I really like that this is kind of tinted, and you can and cannot see the cassette. It's like a 50-50, but I prefer this one over the Warrior one. And as you can see, for the cassette mode, it's not that special. This cannot transform. This is a laser beak, and you can see it has some black, some silver, and some red, so that's not that bad for that. But honestly, not that big of a deal. But again, $10, and you get an extra item. This is just pretty much the best core class of the entire line, no doubt about it. Moving on to the comparison between both of the Soundwaves, so you guys can see the similarities and the differences that they have. So you can see they have pretty much no differences whatsoever. Pretty much exactly the same, just a little bit more smaller and just a little bit more taller. But in my opinion, this is the superior one, because you can see in my particular copy, it just got paint drips all over the place, and maybe you don't, but I don't know, I just prefer the simplicity of this Soundwave over this one. You can see that the sculpted in detail on this one is just all over the place, and don't get me wrong, it looks amazing, it looks good, and it's really accurate to the War for Cybertron representation. But for the G1 representation, it's just, I prefer the simpler look. Again, he was not sculpted this well on the G1 representation, so again, I just prefer this one over this one. But you can see that the weapon is pretty much exactly the same. The shoulder weapon is exactly the same. This one is painted, this one is not, so again, just a win for the core class one. And for the size, you can see that again, pretty much exactly the same. And for the back, it's just a copy and paste. And look at what we're saying, we got a gap here, we got a gap here on the sides as well. We got gaps here as well. We don't got gaps here that the core class has, but you can see that it's just, I don't know, they didn't hold back with the core class, and I just am super happy that I own this guy. And again, this is for sure the best core class of the entire wave, and you can see that again, pretty much everything is exactly the same. And last but not least, for a comparison with this section right here, the only thing that I don't like about the Boyer one is that if you are introduced to this, you can see pretty much everything. And for the black one, for the Ravage one, is not that big of a deal. But if you go ahead and put laser beak there, I don't know, it's just I don't like it. It looks ugly. The red just pops way too much, and you're not supposed to see, you know, the cassette mode. So I prefer the Core Class one over the Warrior one, because as you can see, it's tinted and he is rocking Laserbeak. And if I go ahead and put Laserbeak on the Warrior one, it's just, I don't know, man, I just don't like it. It looks way, just, it pops way too much. But you know, with that being said, that's pretty much it for the comparison between those two. Moving on to the comparison with the rest of the Core Class, here we have Starscream. So you guys can see, you know, how they scale together. In my opinion, they look amazing. I cannot wait to have the Titan class arc, so I can see, you know, how the scale and if I can put them in, or how they look next to it. And for the next comparison, let's go ahead and bring the leader Megatron here, and as you can see, they scale really nice together and they look fantastic. Each individual one look really accurate to the G1 representation. You can see that they look just off the charts together, and I just cannot wait to see, you know, where the Core Class line gets us. And last but not least, go ahead and bring the only Autobot. This is legit the only Autobot, Optimus Prime. So you guys can see, you know, how they look together. And I don't know, where are the Autobots? You know, maybe a Bumblebee, or I don't know, Ratchet, or pretty much any Autobot by now, honestly, because you can see we're rocking 3 Decepticons and only 1 Autobot. And I do not know why. Maybe the Decepticons are a little bit more easy to do, but again, just I don't know. As you can see, they look fantastic, really nice, and the sculpted in detail on each individual one is just off the charts. And I honestly recommend 100% every single one of them. They look amazing, and I just, again, cannot wait to see, you know, where the Core Class line gets us in the future. But with that being said, that's pretty much it for the comparison. For the articulation, it's not that bad. It's fairly decent, but it's more than enough for a $10 figure. For the head sculpt, you can go ahead and give it the all 360 degrees. It's a little stiff though, so be careful not to break it. You can look up just a little bit to transformation. This is on a ball joint and this is on a ball joint, so you got that ball joint goodness. So you got that 360 degrees here and here as well. It can extend about that far and about that far. You got that, you know, 90 degree goodness as well there. And no swivel on the hands and no swivel on the waist. You have to extend this for the legs to extend forward and backwards. You got a 10-degree angle, just, you know, because this blocks the articulation a little bit. And you got a swivel on the upper section of the legs to transformation, and you got a 90 degree bend there. And for the ankle pivoting, no ankle pivoting, but you got, you know, some articulation backwards to transformation. So pretty much the articulation on this guy is due to the transformation, but honestly, I'm not complaining. For a $10 figure, this is more than enough. Moving into the transformation is super easy. If you know how to transform the Voyager 1, then this is just a walk in the park. You don't even have to look at the instructions. First, go ahead and remove the shoulder cannon like so. Remove the weapon. If you haven't pegged it in, throw this away for now. Go ahead and rotate the head like so. Hide the hands. Do the same on the other side. You want to go ahead and rotate the entire figure and then put this on the back like so. Do the same on the other side. You want to go ahead and hide the head on his hold, or you know, on his spot and all that good stuff. There are a couple of pegs, one here and the other one on the other section. Peg those in, and then you just go ahead and rotate the figure again. Break the knees and peg those in, and do the same on the other side. And I like to leave, you know, the figure like this, but the correct transformation is to put this like so. And just, I don't know if I like it or not. Just, it looks like ears, and I just kind of like it, you know, kind of boxy. But you know, for the intent of the video, I'm going ahead and transform it properly. And last but not least, go ahead and peg the weapons. You want to go ahead and peg one on one side and the other one on the other side. It really doesn't matter which side you peg it in. Just peg those on the back. And when you're done, you have him on his awesome, and I mean awesome looking cassette mode. For the cassette mode, I mean, look at this. It looks so good. I am so happy how this turned out. As you can see, just the color distribution translates so good. I look how, you know, it turns out, you know, the silver with the yellow, the blue, everything looks so good together. And just, you can see that the cassette mode translates to the middle really well. And just, it looks really accurate to the G1 representation. I love it, giving you a 360 degrees so you can appreciate, you know, the gaps and how it looks. There's a gap there. It looks kind of awkward, but honestly, I'm not complaining. You know, $10 figure. From the back, it looks exactly the same as the $30 one. You know, the Voyager. Pretty much they shrunk the Voyager into a Core Class size, and it looks fantastic. No complaints here. 10 out of 10. It looks just amazing. I cannot recommend this dude enough. But you know, for a comparison with the other ones, you guys can see, you know, the differences that they have. As you can see, oh my god, man, I mean, they legit, I don't know how they did it, but this pretty much is exactly the same as this one. They just shrunk it down into a, you know, a Core Class size, and they look amazing. Both of them do, but in my opinion, this just looks simpler, and in my opinion, really accurate to the G1 representation. This one looks accurate, don't get me wrong, but it just, I don't know, it's too much. much in my opinion. I love how this one has the left and right insignias and this one does not. You know, that's a con there, but again, this is a $10 figure. You cannot complain for the details that is lacking, but you know, giving you a side to side so you actually see, you know, the differences. Again, this one has the gap as well, so no differences there. And from the back, just like I said, it's exactly the same, pretty much just a copy and paste of the transformation and the proportions and all that. It just ends up in the same position, and from the sides obviously the same as the opposite side. And from the very top, you can see that this one shows the head and this one hides it well, but again, you cannot complain for a $30 one. You can even see the ball joint there, but just overall it looks amazing. They look just up the chart, both of them do, but I just prefer the shoulder one because you can go ahead and display with the bigger characters like Megatron, for example. You can go ahead and, you know, put it on the floor, and just it looks so good. Oh, come on, man, don't fall. It looks so good together, and you can do some nice displays with, you know, Soundwave spine on the Autobots and all that good stuff, just like the G1 did. And just honestly, it's so nostalgic. I am so happy that I own this guy. Again, I cannot recommend this dude enough. This guy looks up the charts, 10 out of 10. Moving on into the comparison with the rest of the core class, so you guys can see how he scales, how he looks with the rest of the Decepticons. Here we have Megatron, and as you can see, they scale really nice together. They look amazing. This is not accurate, you know, to reality, but again, you know, reality just goes out the window when it comes to accuracy, you know, on scale with Transformers, you know, the G1 version, because this is a giant robot that turns into a cassette mode. So again, that's just out the window. They look really nice together and really accurate. If you go ahead and take Megatron and put it on the weapon, this is accurate to the G1 representation, but you know, they look nice as it is. Go ahead and let's go ahead and move on to Starscream. Oh, you know, this pop out, but as you can see, they look amazing, really accurate to the G1 representation as well. You can see that they look amazing. They scale really well with each other, but again, just, you know, a normal scale, this is ridiculous because this is Jet and this is a cassette, but again, that is pretty much out the window. So let's go ahead and move on to the last comparison. Here we have Optimus Prime, and again, they look amazing. I'm again pissed that this is the only Autobot that we have. I mean, come on, man. Maybe a Bumblebee will do, but just Optimus, really. I'm really hoping that they continue the core class, because you can see they look amazing. They sculpted in detail, the paint distribution, everything is up the chart. For $10, you're just getting this. It blows my mind. But you know, that's pretty much it for that. And you already saw, you know, the comparison between these two, but you can see, oh man, come on, they look amazing. I just had to show you the comparison again. But you know, with that being said, that's pretty much it for the comparison. Last but not least, for your transformation back to roll mode, it's even more easier than before. Go ahead and remove the items that he has on the back. Go ahead and reveal the legs, show the feet. Do the same on the other side, show the feet here as well. Put the shoulders to the front, reveal the hands, and then go ahead and reveal the head. You kind of need nails for this, but other than that, that's pretty much it. Go ahead and put the shoulder cannon back on, and as you can see, there you have him on his awesome looking robot mode. And that brings us to the end of the video. As always, leave your thoughts in the comments down below. I'm really interested in knowing your opinion on the subject, especially if you think that Core Class Soundwave is the best of the entire line. But that's pretty much it for this, so I hope you enjoy. If you did, please leave a like. It really helps you to algorithm and helps my videos get out there in a while. So if you get anything, anybody later my content, please subscribe, and I will see you on the next video. But this is pretty much it for Transformers Kingdom Core Class Soundwave.